I'm Paco, welcome to my channel. For many times since the introduction of many microbrands in the brass instrument world, there has been a general confusion about the meaning of some labels regarding of their level of technical development, what parts are really made in-house or which are being outsourced. In this video, I want to address the different tiers in brass instrument making, no matter if we talk about trumpets, trombones, French horns, or even tubas. To help you clarify where a brand sits on this tier list, I recommend you to ask the producers how they made their instruments. In this business, we take much pride of our skills, so you probably can see in their websites or social media if they are making all parts, only some of them, or none at all. As you may be aware of, there are some mass producers with huge facilities and machinery that can actually make all of their parts in-house, but what about microbrands and small producers? Microbrands and small producers have different levels of technology development, some of them outsourcing all parts or even complete instruments. And also there's a very small number of small producers which are true craftsmen and artisans that make every single part in-house. Then, what will be the difference between a mass producer and those small workshops and micro brands out there? Let's dive in and find out the different tiers in brass instrument manufacture. In the first tier, we have the mass producers such as Bach, Kohn, and B&S, to name a few. They have their own facilities where they make every single part of their instruments with minimal to no outsourced help. There are many engineers, technicians, and artisans working all together in big factories producing parts, doing the assembly of the instruments, polishing, lacquering, and plating. In this level of manufacture, their staff are generally trained and specialize in performing one single task, such as bell makers, lathe operators, machinists, etc. That implies that there are several people involved in the making of a single instrument, as well as there are some processes that have been automated by using robots and CNC machines and so on. The second type in brass instrument manufacture would be the shop brands, which doesn't involve any kind of operation in making their own instruments, as they order complete instruments from suppliers, normally from Asia, and ask them to put their own shop brand name on them. Normally, those are very basic stencil instruments with no specific technical request from the shop brand, and thus you can see the very same instrument marketed under several brand names. Boutique shops are in the third tier, and they are basically repair shops and technicians who order standard and generic parts from different suppliers and then put them together in the workshops. Basically, you tell them you want a certain style of bell, valve block, lead pipe, or tuning slide, and they locate the parts and assemble them for you. This requires very basic technical skills such as proper soldering to assemble the instrument, and normally lacquering and plating is also outsourced as well. This is not bad at all, but you should ask where the shop gets their parts to avoid getting ripped off. As a rule of thumb, if they can prove the parts come from reputable suppliers, they are most surely using the cheapest parts they can get. Custom shops, the fourth tier, although being quite similar to boutique shops in the third tier, they differ themselves by being able to fabricate few custom parts such as mouthpiece receivers or draws from lead pipes. This requires a bit more of technical know-how, thus being a step further from the boutique shops. Again, that's not bad, but always make sure they get the parts from reputable suppliers such as the lawyer. Manufacture would be the fifth tier, is where things get a bit more complicated, as in those workshops a collection of true craftsmen make the whole instrument, with the use of very few outsourced parts, normally the valve block. One only craftsman makes all parts, including making bells, tubes, bows, lead pipes, all in-house, then adjust them by hand and make the whole instrument from top to bottom, with the exception normally of the valve block, whether they are pistons or rotary valves. The loyal instruments are made in this way. High manufacture is by far the most technological complicated tire, as it means that every single part is produced in-house, no cutting corners allowed, no exceptions. Then, what makes them different to mass producers, apart from the technological development of the workshops? Many doesn't have the super expensive tools that big companies can afford, not even CNC machines. The biggest difference is that every instrument can be traced to a single artisan from beginning to end. No automated processes. One single person makes all parts. One single person, that very same person, puts together the instrument with very little help, if any. The lacquering or plating processes sometimes are outsourced to highly specialized workshops. And that's how we do. That's how we make trumpets by Paco. I hope you found this video interesting and informative. Please like and subscribe for more quality content.